Good day, everybody, and welcome to this Yin Yoga session where we're going to be working from the top of our heads down to the toes. We'll be taking a couple of lovely deep stretches, so we're essentially working into a full body workout. So for those of you that have not joined me before, Yin Yoga is a yoga of long holding postures. So we're going to get really juicy into each one of our shapes as we allow the body to really fold and release into those shapes. Through doing so, we work into the connective tissues, the ligaments, and the fascial layer of the body. So I invite you to join me, get out your yoga mat, grab hold of a bolster, a blanket you may need, a couple of blocks or books or whatever you have handy, possibly even a yoga strap. Whatever you need, grab hold of it now, and we'll meet on the mat in hero pose. So hero pose, we're sitting down on the heels, buttocks to heels, knees are bent. If this pose is not accessible to you or you feel like the knees are a bit stiff, you can prop a blanket underneath the buttocks to raise yourself up a bit, or you can just come into easy seat, so legs crossed. So just a quick demonstration of easy seat, so it's entirely up to you. Let's begin the practice now with a short meditation. So bringing hands onto the lap, place one hand over the other and allow the thumbs to touch. Lengthen up through the spine. Gently tuck chin towards chest and close the eyes. Allow yourself a moment now to connect once more with your breath. Shoulders are drifting away from the ears as you lengthen up through the base of the spine. Allow yourself to settle here. Deeply inhaling and exhaling. Allowing full awareness and attention to rest now on your breath. Begin to notice any sounds outside of the room. Just gently noticing them, not attaching in any way. And then allowing yourself to become aware of sounds within the room. Attention and awareness drawn once more to your breath as you deeply inhale and exhale through the nose. Just noticing the quality of your breath as you sit here today. Are you inhaling and exhaling fast or slow? Or is there a smoothness or a stickiness to the breath? Are you able to rest full attention to the breath rather than attaching to thoughts, sensations, or emotions? Allowing yourself to scan through the body, just noticing any tensions or sensations. Allowing yourself these last few moments of stillness. Setting an intention for today's practice. Maybe that intention may be to honor your body and where it is at, knowing that no matter where or what, all is well. Listening to your body. and working to those 3 principles of Yin Yoga. Gently allowing yourself now to take focus of the breath for the last few deep inhalations and exhalations. And then when you're ready, you can gently flutter the eyes open. Coming back to the room. And you can gently come off your shins and legs. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake just to wake up right down into the toes. And we're going to work into the very first posture of our Yin sequence today, which is a neck release. So you can come into your easy seat, and we're going to interlace the fingers and bring the fingers to the back of the neck. We draw the chin down to the chest. Chin is pinned into the chest. Elbows are allowed to draw down towards the mat. And you lengthen up through the spine, so you're feeling a stretch through the back of the neck. We are not pulling down, we are rising up into gravity of the hands that are weighted down on the back of the neck. We are here for 3 minutes. Sorry, 1 minute. 1 minute. So, hands at the back of the head, draw the head down, and allow gravity to do its work. So remember once again the 3 principles of Yin Yoga. The first being to find your edge, and your edge being at the level of a 5 out of 10. And then finding stillness and holding the posture. So no fidgeting. Deep breaths into the space of the back of the neck. You can take a couple of sighs here if you need. And then you can gently release the hands down to the knees, raise the chin up ever so gently. We're moving into the next of our postures, which is also a neck release. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back, reach the elbows towards one another, open up through the chest and gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths here, opening up through the shoulders. And then we're going to take the hands over, still interlaced, over to rest onto the left hip. So we're drawing the hand behind the back, opening up through the shoulder, and then gently drawing the right ear over to the right shoulder. So we're going to be here for a minute on each side. If this is not accessible to you, you can have the hand tucked behind the back and just rest that left arm onto the thigh. If it is accessible, interlace fingers, drop right ear to right shoulder, taking a beautiful stretch through the side of the neck. Deep breaths here as you once more work into that space of searching for an edge of 5, and allowing yourself to surrender into the shape. And here for a minute. You feel as though that right ear is melting down towards that right shoulder. is this shape presenting for you? Are you able to soften that left shoulder down away from the left ear? And then you can gently draw the head back up, so crown of the head back up towards the ceiling. Lengthen up through spine. We're going to spring arms behind the back. Draw the elbows together once more. Shoulder blades together. Raise chin up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, let's go over to the other side. So we're now taking the hands over to the right hip. Hands are interlaced. Fingers are interlaced. Resting on that right hip. Left ear now goes over to left shoulder. Once more, allow yourself just to settle here. We're here for a minute. Finding that edge of a 5, and then holding, settling into the stillness, which is Yin Yoga. Deep breaths in and out through the nose, allowing for a release here into the posture. Really feeling that left ear melting down towards the left shoulder. All tension dissolving through the right side of the neck. Last couple of breaths here as we move into the end of our minute. Gently unclasp or draw hands to the back of the body. Once more, crown back up to ceiling. Elbows together, shoulder blades together, open up chest, chin up towards ceiling for a last breath. And then gently release. Roll the shoulders a couple of times, moving them backwards. And then roll shoulders forwards a couple of times. Coming back into neutral, we're taking our next shape, which is a shoulder roll over. So coming down onto the mat, coming onto the belly. We're going to roll over to the left side first. So, forehead can rest onto the mat. Left hand extends out to the left side of the body. Right leg lifts up. We roll over onto the left side of the body, drawing the right foot down into the mat. Right hand comes next to the face. Palm is down, pressing into the mat. Now you have the option to stay here or to tuck the hand behind the back, opening up into the shoulder, just that little bit more. We are here for 3 minutes. So just find your edge of a 5 and where you are feeling comfortable here. So, right sole of the foot is pressing into the mat. Knee is drawn up towards the ceiling and even pressing over to the right hand side. Allow yourself to settle here. This is a beautiful shoulder opening posture which helps to open up into the shoulders, providing some relief if you've spent a lot of time behind a PC. Find your stillness now in the shape. Allow yourself to completely let go, so you settle and open up into this beautiful shape, working deeply into the shoulders. Once more, remembering you're searching for an edge of a 5. So if anything feels more intense than that, just gently roll out a little bit. more back to the breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Allow this practice of yin to be very meditative. Allow yourself this time to go within. Walk yourself through the shape. See if there's anywhere else you can soften just that little bit more. Coming to the last few seconds. Allow yourself to let go fully. Gently bring that right hand back down onto the mat, sending the right leg to meet the left foot, roll back onto the belly. Bring the hands one on top of the other and rest the forehead for a moment as we get ready now to go over to the left hand side. Or sorry, shall I say the right hand side. So we're now taking the right arm out to the right side, palm facing down onto the mat. We gently begin to roll over onto the right hip, taking the left foot, planting it behind the right knee, planting the sole of the foot down into the ground, and then you have the option to either keep the left hand palm pressed into the mat or sweep the hand behind the small of the back. And allow yourself to settle here now, sending that right knee over to the left side of the room. Take a couple of sighs here. Allow yourself now to settle into the stillness. Just noticing what the shape presents for you now on this other side. Once more, allowing that beautiful opening into the shoulder. Whole body is soft apart from those target areas through the shoulders. Closing the eyes and taking this time to turn inwards. Moving into the last few seconds here, allow yourself to sink down, allow the mind to quieten. Gently replace that left palm down onto the mat. Send the left foot down to meet the right as you gently roll over onto the belly. Bring both hands one on top of the other. Take a moment here, allow the forehead to rest. Couple of breaths here. Gently tuck the toes, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We roll and press back for a moment into child's pose. So drop the buttocks down to the heels, drop the forehead, wrap the hands around the legs, touching the feet. Just take a few breaths in recovery here. And then gently bring that palms back onto the mat. Press yourself up. We're coming into tabletop to take the next posture, which is threaded needle. So we're working further into the upper portion of the shoulders, taking the right hand, threading it underneath the left hand, bringing the cheek down onto the mat, raising up the left hand to the top of the mat and allowing yourself to settle here now for 3 minutes. So ensuring that the knees are still stacked over the hips here, that you're able to fully surrender into the shape. Taking a lovely twist through the shoulders, allowing yourself to fully soften. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Really allow the cheek and the right shoulder and arm to melt into the ground. Deep breaths in and out through the nose here. Surrender into the shape. Allow yourself that full experience of softening, and then also to work into those connective tissues, ligaments and fascia. Closing the eyes, allowing yourself this time to go inward. Trying not to fidget, trying to be still. Allowing the body the full opportunity to get juicy in the shape. Moving into the last few seconds here. You can gently start to come out, drawing that left hand back towards the face, raising yourself up. You can wag the hips here. Moving them from side to side. We're getting ready now to go into the left side, so left hand draws underneath the right arm, dropping cheek down to the mat and raising up the right hand. So we're drawing it up to the top of your mat. And then once more, allowing yourself to settle here for 3 minutes. Just noticing what the shape is presenting for you. Maybe you're feeling a bit stiffer on one side than the other. Sigh it out if you need to. Allow your body this time to let go of all tensions. Allow your mind to quieten. out here if you need to. And allow yourself to melt down and open up. Taking a little walk through the shape, seeing where you can soften and let go just that little more. Maybe you're finding the shape feeling a little bit more accessible. Use the breath. Every exhale, let go of tension. Moving into the last few seconds here. Gently draw that right hand back towards the face. Press palm into mat. Press yourself back up into tabletop. Taking a couple more rocks from side to side. Let's take a couple of cat-cows just to counterpose what we've just done. Inhale to gaze forward and drop belly. And as you exhale, gaze towards navel. Inhale, drop belly, gaze forward. Exhale, gaze to navel. Inhale, drop belly. Exhale, gaze to navel. And then gently coming back to neutral. We're getting ready now for the next posture or shape, which is a wide-legged lateral stretch. So we're going to take sole of the foot in towards the thigh. So as though you were coming into a nice wide-legged seat, take the right foot in towards the left thigh. If you have a block or a book nearby, you can use that. So we're going to take a lateral side stretch. So moving over, stretching over to the left-hand side. You can rest the forearm of the left hand onto a block, or if you're able to draw it down towards the ground or even onto the leg, wherever you can get to, and allow yourself to reach over to the left toes. Toes of the left foot are soft. Allow the body to reach over. We're here for 2 minutes. Full stretch is felt along that right side of the body. So beautiful lateral stretch here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing the whole body to soften through the toes, through the ankles, through the calves. Yin Yoga working on the meridians, the meridian lines that run through the body. Restoring the flow of chi or energy through the body. Moving into the last few seconds here. can gently begin to roll out of the shape, coming back up into seated. We're going to move over now to the other side. So taking the left foot into the right thigh, drawing yourself up nice and tall, raising up through the spine, and getting ready now to take your lateral side stretch over to the right hand side, gazing underneath the armpit and allowing yourself to settle here now for 2 minutes. Softening through the entire body, so walking through the shape, making sure that the toes and the sole of the foot, the ankle, the shin, calf, thigh, hip, belly, all soft. Target area for this stretch along the lateral side of the left body. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. And then you can gently start to roll yourself out. Coming back up into seated. We're getting ready now to move into sleeping swan. So coming back onto the mat, we're going to take sleeping swan from plank pose. So reach the legs out behind you, coming into your plank pose. We're going to start with the right knee. So you draw the right knee in towards the right wrist. Knee settles behind the right wrist. Foot of this right leg is slanted across the mat, so coming out to the edge of the mat. And then you allow yourself to settle down, dropping the back knee backwards, flattening the back foot. So really important here in pigeon pose or sleeping swan that the hips remain square, so not rolling onto either side. If you're having issues with the knee, you can also bring this heel of the foot in towards the left hip flexor. So whatever works for you here. Once you're there, you can gently lower down if it's accessible to you or for you, down to the forearms, dropping the third eye area onto the thumbs of prayer hands. Or if you're able to take it a bit further, you can drop down onto one hand on top of the other and allow yourself to go into the stretch here. We're doing 3 minutes on either side. So allow yourself to let go here. So again, you can use as many props here as you like. If you need, you can take a block, bolster it underneath the right hip. If you need, you can just stay here, so not dropping forward. So just listen to the body and go into wherever the body allows you to. There should be no pain. We're working to an edge of a thigh. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the left back foot, really allowing the body to open. This is a deep stretch into the hip. Do not overstretch, so really honor the body and where it is at today. softening any tension that the shape presents. Allowing the body to work into the ligaments, the tendons, the fascial layer. Quietening the mind, keeping your focus on the breath. Moving into the last 30 seconds of the posture as you allow yourself to deepen just that little bit more by surrendering fully into the shape. Last few big breaths here. Gently begin to replace the palms back onto the mat, walk them back towards the torso, tuck the back toe under, gently walk the back knee a little bit closer, and we just step back into our plank pose once more. Allowing ourselves a couple of seconds here. We're getting ready to move into the other side. We're going to be taking the left knee towards the left wrist. Left foot is coming across the mat. And begin to settle the back leg down, allowing for this beautiful stretch into sleeping swan. So when you're ready, and if hips are lovely and square, they're not leaning over from one side to the other, gently lower the forearms once more, resting the forehead either onto the thumbs of prayer hands or rolling down slightly further, allowing the forehead to rest on top of the hands, elbows out to the side of the mat. We are here for 3 minutes, so allow yourself to settle in whichever version of this shape is working for you. Once more, we're looking for the edge of a 5, so not further than that. And then allow yourself to settle and let go in the shape. Soften the feet of both of your legs. Soften through the lower back, through the shoulders. And you allow the body this time to work deeply into this hip opener. Bringing awareness back to the breath, using your deep inhalations and exhalations to allow you to sink deeper into the postures. moving into the last 30 seconds here as you adjust and see if you can soften just that little more. Melting further into the ground. Gently replacing hands back onto the mat, palms pressing down, walking back towards the torso, tuck the back toe under, walk the back knee a little bit closer, step yourself back. Let's take a quick rest into wide-legged child's pose, so bringing the knees out to the edge of the mat, toes to touch, allow your body to drop forward as you drop forehead down onto the mat. Just allow yourself a few moments here of rest, allowing the whole spine to elongate, buttocks pressing down towards the heels. Couple of breaths here. Gently press palms into the mat, walk the hands back towards the body. We're coming into the next posture, which is a forward fold. And we're going to take 4 minutes in this forward fold. So we're going to bring legs out in front. So very important here that there's a few things that might be accessible or not accessible to you. We need to be sitting on the sit bones, so not leaning back onto the buttocks, but reaching forward into the sit bones. Now, this can already present issues with the hamstrings being really tight, and if that's the case, you can take a rolled up blanket and place them under the knees, just to give a bit of support. If the hamstrings are quite loose, but you're not really able to sit on the sit bones, just sit on a rolled up blanket. So that will allow the hip bones to roll forward. And then from here, we're going to come down into a forward fold. We're not sending chest to shins here. We're rolling right through the spine and creating a lovely extension through the spine, allowing the arms to settle down the side and the forehead to drop. Now, if you're having issues with the neck, you can grab hold of a book or a block and rest the forehead so that you don't place extra strain onto the back of the neck. Whatever you need here, if you don't have a block, you can take a couple of pillows and pile them on top of each other, just to allow that space or the ground to raise up towards the forehead. And then allow the arms to drop down and just settle and breathe. We're here for 4 minutes. This is called caterpillar. And we're working here on a beautiful flexion through the spine. So we're not looking for that drawing of the chest down towards shins or onto the thighs. And just notice how the body begins to surrender to the shape. Eyes to close and the focus once more to come back to the breath. Take this time to go within. Walk yourself through the shape, checking to see if the toes are soft, the ankles are soft, the legs are soft. Target area here through the back of the hamstrings, and the lower back, and extension or flexion, shall I say, of that spine. All the while, taking deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, allowing the body to really surrender here. Bringing your focus to areas of tension, and then gently asking of the body to soften and let go. Working with the body rather than against it. We're coming into our last minute. Take a couple of sighs here. If you feel the need to shift some energy through the body. Last few seconds. Gently bring palms onto the mat. Gently roll up one vertebra at a time. Just be very respectful of the body and mindful of rebound. Coming back into seated. We're going to move into the last couple of postures, so you can come off your rolled up blanket if you were on one. And then we're going to come into an ankle stretch. So we're gently going to rise up here. Sitting once more in hero pose, bringing the hands behind the back. The feet here are separated, slightly apart. And we're gently going to roll back on to the tops of the feet. Hands are stacked underneath the shoulders. And we're here for a minute. So stretching through the tops of the feet. So again, look for edge of a 5. Do not go past that. Inhale, exhale through the nose. If you need to come out at any point, come out. Feet may be very stiff. Deep breaths. Remember, you're looking for the edge of a 5, so if it's more than a 5, come out. We're moving into the last 15 seconds. Drop palms to the mat and gently tap, tap, tap feet, waking up through the tops of the feet. We're moving into the last posture, which is a toe stretch. So we're now tucking the toes under, raising up, bring buttocks down onto heels. We are here for a minute. So once more, if it's too much, come out. We're looking for an edge of a 5. So allow the whole body now to sink down onto the toes. Toes are stretched under. You can bring hands on top of each other. Thumbs to rest. Gaze forward. Close the eyes. And breathe. Moving into the last 15 seconds. A couple more deep breaths. Lovely. Gently bring palms onto the mat. Tap, 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 tap the toes once more. Having worked all the way from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes, body should be feeling beautifully stretched out. Let's come down into Shavasana, taking our last moments here. So grab hold of a blanket if it's cold wherever you are. Put on some socks. Do whatever you need to do. Bring feet to the edges of the mat. Grab your blanket. Get yourself nice and warm. Hands come out beside you. Drop the forehead back down onto the mat. Allow yourself this time now in Shavasana or corpse pose just to let go and relax. Beginning with the toes, the soles of the feet and the ankles. Scanning here for tension. Letting go and relaxing. Bringing awareness through the shins and calves, into the knees, thighs. Soften the entire body as you let go and relax. Bring awareness into the belly, the hips, the lower back. Begin to travel up one vertebra at a time from the base of the spine all the way through the lower back, into the mid-back, up between the shoulder blades until you arrive at the base of the neck. Gently allowing shoulder blades to sink down heavy into your mat. Scanning now from the tips of your fingers, palms, back of your hands, resting into the ground. Forearms, elbows, upper arms, all heavy as you let go and relax. Shoulders, chest, neck, all soft. Letting go and relaxing. Softening through the neck, jaw, unclenched. Muscles around the mouth and the eyes soft. Forehead moving up into the crown. Back of the head all soft, all resting. As you let go and relax. Entire body soft, letting go and relaxing. Bringing your awareness once more back to the breath. As you begin to wriggle the toes, bringing some movement back into the feet. Gently taking the tip of your thumb, drawing it across the tips of your fingers. Allowing the head to roll over from one side to the other. Gently drawing the arms up overhead, taking a deep stretch. Gently hug knees into the chest. Begin to rock from side to side. Just taking a little bit of pressure off the lower back. Grab hold of the back of the thighs as you begin to rock and roll. Coming back up into seated posture. Coming into easy seat. Gently bring palms together to touch. Begin rubbing the palms, generating some warmth between the hands, resting the hands into heart center, taking a beautiful deep inhale through the nose. As you exhale, draw the nose back down towards the tips of the fingers, taking a moment to acknowledge yourself, turning up to the practice. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful day.